Increasingly, the internet and higher access to information are exercising an undeniable influence over us, especially over the new generations. Today, with access to the web, we have a lot of information. It's in the internet where online communities are. They mold our vision of the world, the way we see others and ourselves. They're where we build our identity. So, are we able to say that the internet controls us? The internet is impacting us every day in a crisis of social and cultural morals that are causing a big revolution in our society. It makes the access to problematic contents easier, like pornography, explicit violence, hate speeches. It feeds misogyny, pedophilia, cyberbullying, and misinformation. It promotes addictions and unreal aesthetic pressures. This type of content has become so ordinary that they are now normalized. That's the problem.
With the access to the internet becoming yearly more unrestricted, it gets harder for the parents to control what their children are consuming. Excessive amount of screens, even in young children, are causing anxiety, addictions, and development issues, which get even worse at adolescence. The internet is full of malicious people. There is a lot of bad content that can be easily found on the internet, like sites of pornography and gore. The habit of consuming this type of content leads to desensitization and addiction, leading them to consuming more and more. These habits have become so common that they are normalized and even glorified by some people.
The banalization of violence, misogyny, and pornography in the internet is portrayed in the series Adolescence. They reflect about the negative influence the internet exercises on teens, many times leading to serious and irreversible situations, like what was shown in the murder case of Katie. Katie was a victim of a 13-year-old teen. Jamie destroyed his family. He can undo what is done. Jamie is only an example of what a person can become in this type of situation. If he wasn't arrested, who else could be his victim? Who would he become in the future? A rapist? A threat to women?
Misogynistic hate speeches are very common on the internet, even the ones that are done in a valid way. Hiding the hate with memes or giving the idea that these videos were all made to help men not be made a fool by women. These speeches do what every hate group does. A group that's dehumanizing women until they become objects. If a woman doesn't belong to a conservative way of living, like getting married, building a family, and obeying her husband, they are useless. There are people who build a vision that women are whores, self-serving, and manipulators, perpetuating negative stereotypes over teen.
Just like how it was portrayed in the series Adolescence, the impact of these discourses and communities is very harmful, especially for boys in the development stage. Other than getting a distorted view over women, they also get a lot insecure and feel insufficient under the toxic masculinity and society expectations. When they are excluded for not fitting, they can be seen as weirdos, making them more propense to suffer bullying, increase the chance of developing psychological disturbances like depression, anxiety, and autodestructive behavior, which can result in violent actions on themselves or others. A research realized by the American Psychological Association reveals that teens exposed to pornography early have a distorted view over sexual relations, affecting their behavior on real relations.
Many sexual violence cases involving teens can be related to the lack of appropriate sexual education, which usually gets substituted by content found on the internet. This is just one of proofs of how problematic is pornography. Other than getting you addicted and dependent, pornography also makes you dumb.
É isso aí, mulher gostosa e pelada.
According to research published in the German journal JAMA Psychiatry, watching pornographic scenes can atrophy parts of the brain, making the organ less efficient. Pornography romanticizes the sexual relations in an unreal way, making boys creating idealization of women in an objectifying way, and expecting to always be in control and getting frustrated with the real world, sometimes getting violent to realize fantasies and submission. This was very well represented and in an extreme way by Jane in Adolescence.
The girls, even being less present in the pornography world, are very present in the universe of books and erotic fictions, the famous dark romances, that can also be malicious, especially because it romanticizes toxic relationships and sexual abuses. There are a lot of diverse communities on the internet. Recently, there has been a rise of problematic groups in Discord. These groups are formed by marginalized teens and widows, os famosos paneleiros. James certainly was part of one of these groups. They are also known for practicing misogyny, pornography, gore, pedophilia, and drug traffic. These environments, many times clandestine, promote violent and destructive behaviors, like the incentive to self-harm. Many members of these groups are involved in real cases of serious crimes.
Social network, even thought they offer a place to self-expression, have become a fertile ground to toxic and problematic behavior. The excessive and uncontrolled exposure to the internet has caused a deep psychological impact on the new generation. Identity distortions and a normalization of violence and sexuality. So it's important for us to have conscience and sensibility. For the parents, it's important to think twice before giving a phone to their child. We should treat access to information with more responsibility. It's a very powerful tool, but because of that, it's potentially dangerous if it falls on wrong hands.